Well, gung hei fat choi, everyone. It's Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon, on February 10th, 2024. In this video, I wanted to briefly go over separation. Here we see Ryan Krauser from the tower back there. I believe this is Oregon. We're going to look at his separation. Now, on the right here, I've got with Tom Walsh, this biomechanical report they did for 2017, the shot put. And you can get this document online for free. And in that report, they talk about separation. This table 14 for Walsh, Kovacs, Krauser. I'm only going to talk about Ryan Krauser here today. So, at the right leg push-off, which is right here, they're saying that the shoulder to hip line was a negative 25 degrees. So that means, because it's negative, that the shoulders were actually ahead of the hips. So you can see he's really pulling that left arm past the left knee right here. And he's really creating quite the stretch here between the knees. And so I think what he's trying to do is then get a good whip around with that right. Okay, so first we have the at this point the shoulder line ahead of the hips. I know everyone says, well, you got to try to keep that hip ahead, but with Ryan Krauser, he's not doing that. Of course, this report, also on the right, isn't the same report that was done with this throw, of course, but I'm assuming over the years his technique hasn't changed that much. Okay, so next we're going to look at the left foot push-off. At this point, he's increased right here, 50 degrees, 52 degrees really, from negative 25 to now his hips are 27 degrees ahead of his shoulders. So from here to here, he's gone from the shoulders ahead to the hips ahead, right here, into the sprint position. So he's really got that right leg coming around, bringing the hips around, and in the air, getting it ahead. Okay, just right there, as soon as the left foot comes off. Okay, next will be when the right foot touches down. The distance of the degree between the hips and the shoulders is going to go from 27 to add another 20 degrees to 47 degrees. Just in a couple of frames right there. Just 2 frames. He's added another 20 degrees. So his lower body is really whipping around. That's something I try to talk about when I discuss getting some air time, getting both feet in the air. And that's the time when you can allow that lower, heavier part of your body to whip around ahead of the upper body, is when it's in the air. Okay, that's something Jared Roma had taught us. Okay, so now he's got the right foot down. And so we now have 47 degrees. His hips are pretty much pointing directly down here at 3 o'clock, and his shoulders are facing this way. So we got a separation of 47 degrees. If it was 90 degrees, his shoulders would be totally facing the throwing direction. Okay, so he's about almost 45 degrees. So almost right in the middle between the two, between the throwing sector and 3 o'clock, almost down the left sector line. Okay, so let's go to the next step will be when the brace leg or his left foot comes down. So he's going to add another, 13, 16 degrees. So his lower body is still staying ahead, and it's still gaining. So from 47 degrees ahead here, the lower body is going to be 63 degrees ahead of the upper body. Okay, so I like to see when the left toes land, these hips face out to 9 o'clock, and try to get these shoulders as much as you can toward 12, Of course, that would be 90 degrees. He's at 63 degrees, so he's past the 45 where he was earlier. Remember, he was at about 47 degrees right here. So it's between 0 and 90. That's right in the middle, about 45. And then from here, and the left toes come down, he's 63 degrees. So he's getting closer to that 90 degree mark, but not quite there. Okay, so from here into the release, he's going to push with the hips, get the hips rotating around, but right here, the right shoulders get ahead of the hip, finally. So we end up with the negative 13. So we're negative again like we started. So here the shoulder is ahead of the hips, like what you would want to see. Okay. So here we start out again at the beginning, negative 25 degrees. So the shoulders are ahead of the hips. Left foot comes off. We're at a positive 27 degrees. So the hips are now 27 degrees ahead of the shoulders. And then the right foot comes down. We're now at 47 degrees difference. And then when the left toes come down, we're at 63 degrees. And then he's wrapped. He's got all that torque. He's got both the feet on the ground now. And then he releases. So he's going from 63 degrees to 13. Negative 13. So it's quite a bit. He's releasing into that throw. I believe this was the world record here. I'm not sure. But anyway. So I wanted to talk about that, and if you learned anything today, please like and subscribe, and thank you very much.